Well, Mark, a 0-0 draw last time out, almost a week down the line. How are you reflecting on that? Is it one of frustration of not getting the 3 points, or is it one you're pleased with because of the performance?
No, I was delighted with the performance. We showed what a good team we are. You know, we dominated all the statistics and what we need to be doing to win games. So we can't do much more than that. And it's just this week's been positive reinforcement for the boys about how well they're doing.
And you mentioned those statistics; they're all pointing in the right direction, aren't they, for what could be a successful campaign?
Of course, yeah. We know we should have won the game last week, but if you don't win, then take a point. And we look on the point as a positive one, away from home at favourites to win it.
And when you look at the 3 teams you've played so far to come away unbeaten, that must be something that you're delighted with.
Yeah, we've had a good start, and we now need to turn a good start into a very good one by winning a home game against a really competent team in Walsall.
So it's a case of building on the start and progressing from here?
Of course, yeah, that's what you do. You don't know what's going to happen this season. With the virus, you could be in a position where you're playing teams that are missing 3 or 4 players, and you have to take advantage of that. Or there could be where we miss 3 or 4 players and we're hanging on for a point, and it's going to be one of those seasons, be a lot of luck involved. We have to be able to be ready when opportunities come along.
And when it comes to Walsall, obviously a side we played twice last season, a draw away from home on the second day of the season, then a defeat at the New Lawn later on. Going into the game knowing they're a side you didn't beat last season, is that extra motivation, or how does that work psychologically? No,
it's a totally different game. We were winning at Walsall until the last minute, I think, and conceded a sloppy goal. And at home, we were in the midst of a poor run where we'd lost confidence, and with a young group, we struggled to get that back. This year was different. We've got some new players, and I think those scars have healed a little bit, and it'll be a totally different game.
And you've added a little bit of experience to your squad. Is that in the hopes of sort of, if a bad run does come, to be able to turn the form round and to react better?
Yeah, that's what I asked for, and the summer was players that knew what it took or had been there before, not in terms of 35 years old, but players that had played the level, been successful at the level. And sometimes when it's not your day, you can't win, you take a point, you don't lose. And that's, hopefully we'll see that during the coming weeks and months, that we have that ability to when we're not playing well, to take points. Last year we had to play really well to win, and this year we need to have the art of sometimes not playing well and winning.
And are those players you brought in sort of here to balance the squad, and so you've got different skill sets all over the pitch and different levels of experience? Of
course, we didn't want experience in terms of players that were 35 years old, but experience in terms of played minutes and had good results at the level, like Jordan Moore-Taylor, Jamil Matt, players like that knew the level and had been successful at it, can actually pass them experiences on to the younger boys.
And looking ahead now to Saturday, Walsall, what are you expecting from them?
Well, the manager knows what he's doing, first and foremost. Very competent at the level, organised, and they've got a couple of players that can make a difference. So we know it's going to be a really tough game, and we know that we'll have to play really well to win, and that's what we have to aim to do.
And arguably one of the key men up at the front end of the field, Elijah Adebayo, how are you shaping up to deal with him?
We fully respect his strengths. We know that they like to get the ball up to him, and he's a right handful, and he'll get hold of it and bring other players into play. You know, you've got Wes McDonald, who's on his day is outstanding talent on the left wing, cuts inside onto his right foot and can bend him in the top corner from any distance. So we have to be aware of those kind of players, and we have to give full respect to the opposition, but knowing that we have some really good players ourselves.
And I spoke to Liam Kitchen about Adebayo and mentioned the fact that perhaps the back three we've got are slightly unconventional in that you haven't got a 6'4" centre back in there, and they're all slightly smaller in stature. Do they have to then be a little smarter when it comes to dealing with a player of his size?
There's more ways than one to skin a cat. You don't always have to compete with. Can't sometimes fight fire with fire. You know, so our 3 defenders are clever. You know, we've got 2 young ones on the outside of Jordan, but they're good players, and they'll be ready for the challenge.
And is it fair to say that teams you manage traditionally do that and don't necessarily fight fire with fire and try and find a different way to do things?
I think it's about what players you've got at your disposal. If you've got 3 6'5" centre halves that are aggressive, can edit, you go and edit. If you're 5'11" and you're playing against a 6'4" centre forward, law of averages say you're not going to beat him in the air race. So you've got to think of a different way, you know. And we've done some work on that, but we have to remember that we've got good players as well. We've got Jamil Matt, Aaron Collins, Matty Stevens, Josh March, you know, Sean McCloskey. So we've got players that can cause them problems.
And is it nice having all those options at the front end of the pitch as well?
Of course. The more weapons you've got in your armoury, the better.
And talking of your armoury, how is the squad fitness-wise?
Good. We've got everyone apart from Kane Wilson available.
So Josh March has made a recovery and is ready for action.
He was unbelievable in training this morning. He was very, very good. So he's put himself forward. In my thoughts.